Hi there. If you've been in a destructive marriage for a while, I have a question for you. Do you recognize your own self? Or are you a completely different person than you used to be? Maybe you find yourself withdrawn, afraid to say anything for fear of rocking a very unsteady boat. Or maybe your anger has turned into rage and you say and do things that make you feel so ashamed, but you lack the control to stop it. Your counselor doesn't focus on your husband's behavior, he focuses on yours, and you're called a destructive spouse. And if you're honest, in some ways you are. It's confusing, right? You just want him to stop lying, to stop watching pornography, to stop controlling you, or to be a better dad. Maybe you just like him to start paying attention to you, or to stop spending so much money on things you can't afford, but he won't stop. Nothing changes. And despite all the pleading and begging and counseling and marriage retreats, anyone would be angry. It's okay to want him to change. It's okay to want a better marriage. But what happens to you when you don't get what you want? That's really an important question. Does your happiness and peace depend on your husband's behavior? What price have you paid mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually trying to force him to bend to your will? Mark 8:36 says, "What good is it for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit her own soul?" You lose the person God designed you to be when you lash out in rage. And these outbursts are a warning bell that something is seriously happening inside of you. James 4 says, "What causes these fights and quarrels among you? Do they come for your desires that battle within you?" Notice it doesn't say sinful desires that battle within you. They might be legitimate good desires, but you have no control to make them happen. So instead of focusing on your husband, which will only lead you to more frustration, change your focus to you. Decide to live out the R step of core strength. I'm going to be responsible for myself and respectful toward others without dishonoring myself. Now, maybe you need to find a counselor or a coach to help you work through what's happening inside and to help you learn new skills to deal with your own negative feelings and your unhappiness in your marriage. Consider joining Conquer, which will teach you skills and offer you an accountability group with other women who are also learning to deal with their destructive marriages in a God-honoring way. Healthy people press pause when they're angry and frustrated. Notice I say pause because healthy people still deal with problems. They don't withdraw from them indefinitely. They don't pretend there isn't a problem. Remember, the C part of core strength is being courageously committed to the truth. The good news, it's never too late to change. When you submit to God, He transforms you. He helps you respond to difficult situations correctly. But it requires wisdom and practice, just like you would practice a new sport or instrument. You may not recognize right now the person you've become, but that can change. And when you are in control of you, your husband's destructive behavior is magnified because yours is no longer an issue. Until next time, God bless.
The Conquer program will be open to new members soon. To be notified when it's open, go to leslievernick.com/Conquer sign up or click on the link in the comments.